3, 2, 1.
All right, we're going to be jumping right on board with Gangstars and then into Luminosity. Sign, who we talked to earlier, looking fly, rocking that team jersey and parachute. If you guys at home want to go ahead and support the players and your favorite teams, you can pick it up right there on the Steam store, $19.99. You're going to get that jersey and that parachute.
Yeah, you know, I actually I own all of them, but I'm waiting for a Supersonic skin. That's what I want. I want to dress up like you inside of this game.
All I want, Daybreak, H1, out there, T-Rex onesie, a ghillie suit. I want a T-Rex.
I'm sorry I opened this can of worms. Let's pay attention to the game. We're going to see
They
our
haven't heard
players
before.
moving around with nothing but those beautiful shirts on their back that you can buy for $19.99. But they're going to be looking for everything that they need here. You can see Snoppalittle going to start off to a strong start already. Oh my goodness, we're going to start right off with a that has to be the earliest kill we've seen in the entire league. It's going to be Buffalo taking down none other than Piney.
Yeah, that's a very early combat. And the earliest I think we had seen before that was last week when Gangstars dropped on set to destroy, and they went down just about that early, maybe a little bit later, but that is definitely one of the two fastest kills we've seen.
Oh, man. That was not expecting
All
that
right,
one.
and first circle.
Can we see that again?
First circle is up on the map, guys. We're taking a look at it. It is going to be to the southwest, but we do have a replay real quick of that opening kill. Buffalo going to go ahead and catch Piney inside this warehouse, able to get a couple pumps in at long range and get him down, gets the vehicle, and gets out of there. We did just see that circle, though. It is going to be just southwest of the center of the map. That's going to be on the western side where we've seen Set to Destroy perform very, very well. Last week, we had some eastern safe zones. They didn't play as well there. I'm wondering if the safe zone has something to do with their play last week.
All right, well, the first kill, it's going to be Buffalo in the warehouse with the shotgun. Now we know where that safe zone's going to be. It's time to guess what the next kills are going to look like. You bring up that old safe zone, though. You bring it up, the ones that we saw last week. Obviously, we were very far pushed over to that southeastern portion of the map, quite a bit, things like that. It did affect the play, and we talked about it quite a bit while we were actually casting it. We saw these slower-paced games that then kind of went into an explosive kill feed. We already got 2 players down here. I think that this is going to just be the flavor. I think we're going to be getting into gunfight after gunfight, and we're going to have to see, are they going to go for that play style that we saw a little bit earlier in the league where they try to get pitted right in the center of that safe zone?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to go for that. They like this side of the map. This side of the map is a bit more open, a little bit more free to be able to take engagements, where that eastern side is more like what we saw in the old play style before we were on a kill-heavy meta, right? So the old Atlanta safe zones or the Sweden play, even Sweden was on the east side of the map a lot, and the tree cover there allows for teams to make it a lot farther into the match, a little bit more dense on the POIs as well. The west side of the map is not as forgiving, so it's really beneficial, and it's a little bit better paced rather than being all loaded into the back end of the match.
How crazy is that to think? When you actually say it, you realize how nuts this ride has really been. Sweden, Atlanta, now we're in Vegas. All of these players, it's just been such a crazy journey, and seeing some of these teams that have been together for such a long time. I mean, Jason, you have known these guys for just such a long time, and now we're already week 7 through. The years have started to fly by.
3 years. If you told me 3 years ago I was going to be in my hometown in Vegas gassing a pro league with some of the people that have become some of my best friends, period, in the world, I wouldn't have believed you.
I love you too. Now we're going to see Stormin letting out some long-range shots and going to do a little bit of work there onto the member of Noble. But we want to remind you guys, as these early shots ring out, as these early fights break out, there is one thing that is constant. Yes, safe zones change. Yes, the meta does change. But the pre-show, 6:45 every single Wednesday on Facebook. We're going to be getting to the first game by 7:15. Imperial Hal, though, it's 7:20, and he's already getting into gunfights.
Yeah, so we got some long-range shots coming out from C9 in the direction of Epsilon. We've seen some early game kills, 2 players out so far. Echo Fox is down 1, and so is Luminosity, losing JP2, and Piney was the one to go down from Echo Fox, so we'll have to see if that adjusts how these guys approach this circle going in down a man. Again, we talk about battle of resources every single week. War of attrition, most important resource you've got is bodies. Being down a body hurts.
That's like my official tagline.
No.
That's my favorite thing to say. It's just the most important resource, players. And ultimately, we are going to see a few of these teams starting down that most important resource. But when we see some of those long-range gunfights, that is exactly what they're going for, Jason. They're poking at players, but they're taking away from resources just like this. Police car going to get tagged up.
Prodigy Aces has been doing this for the longest time now. He has no problem or qualm with just jumping out and shooting at you when you're in a car driving by, and if you don't have a full 5 where you're going to be able to turn around and hop on him, he will engage you 10 out of 10 times, and I absolutely love seeing that in this meta, a team that is just ready to take every fight, and it's paid off for them.
You know, so, I mean, that's that entire team, right? But Prodigy Aces in particular, it's interesting. I forget if it was during the pre-show tonight or where it was. There was an interview with him, and he was talking about his history in gaming and all the different titles that he has played, and I do think the aggression came from there in a certain way. I mean, we see these teams like CLG that have been so, they really came up on that earlier meta. They like to play that slow meta. We talk about how they're actually adapting right now, but you see a player like Prodigy Aces just always at least, he goes 0 to 60 instantly every single time. This is a little bit scary for Vitality here.
Yeah, Clem taking a couple shots from Sign. Both these players know each other very well. Howie in here with Clem. See if they end up getting engaged on it. Looks like LG might be making the press. Chipsy driving by, seeing if he can get a body count. And out comes Howie. He's going to get a couple shotgun blasts off. They are going to end up cleaning those two up, but they are going to drop Chipsy. Losing Chipsy's a big one. Chipsy is that in-game leader, so him going down early may spell disaster for them later.
Breach in the bathroom is LG. An interesting play by them as well, considering they entered that fight a man down. They have a pretty decent trade on this engagement, 1 man for 2, and we're going to see that right now. The big thing, Jason, that we need to think about is why are they going for this offensive, this aggression after JP2's already down?
Yeah, not sure. They definitely didn't know Howie was there. I think he was in the blind spot. They were coming in. I think they thought they had Clem by himself, isolated, and Howie was there to back him up, so they end up taking down a player. But they lose 2 as well, so Vitality also hurting from that play as well. They're not happy that LG just pulled that play.
Oh, and LG's back instantly. Sign's going to get the helmet ripped off. He's able to pop another one on. He's waiting for Megs to come out. Now it's going to be the shotgun fight, and Megs is able to just dodge bullets like he's Neo. Gets into the Jeep, finally going to be taken down there, but Cutie Venom going to be able to trade out onto Yogi, and LG only going to be standing on 2 feet. It's Sign and Rogan. We've been playing the game for like 3 minutes, and we only have 68 players left.
So I believe we got a replay of that, and I actually want to isolate something here that occurs. So Sign here is going to go for the fight, and you can see right there, he knew that the player was going in to stay alive for just a second and then hop back out. He started to pre-fire right at the spot the player was going to land when he exited the vehicle. So Sign recognizing the play that was occurring and cleaning up right there. And now he's going to turn his attention in the direction of Hurrah. He loses a helmet, and he is going to get eliminated here. Rogo going to go ahead and back him up, take that one down, but both these teams losing players early, no modifiers for either of these teams.
Oh my goodness, I thought Rogue's going to be able to get into smoke for just a second, but it's an absolute bloodbath, already down to just 63 players. We saw shots coming into the back from Hurrah, ultimately LG. They're just going to get taken out of these fights. Focus now going to be on Impact. They have just been engaged throughout the entirety of this. Gunfight after gunfight. Cutie Venom's going to be the most banged up out of all of that, but he should be able to survive for now. 2 teams already eliminated. We see our safe zone. We know that the gas is going to hit that ring in a second. The question is, where is it going to pull? But Jason, we love to talk about it. Already these teams trying to get very close to the center, and the eye of the storm is going to be set to destroy X right now, our current leader in the Pro League.
And TSM, Rogue, and Epsilon also all there, and that's the top 4. So the top 4 all playing center safe zone meta right now. They're sitting there. And we talk about meta a lot, and that's something that we go into quite a bit. So for the people at home that maybe are newer viewers, when we're referring to meta, I just want to kind of clue them in. We're basically talking about what the current strategy of the game is. What's the best play? Meta just kind of being that over-the-top term that we use to talk about that.
It's a very meta term, if you will.
Very meta term? Yeah.
No,
it's very meta to talk about the
main
meta.
thing it's almost like the unspoken rules, but the thing is the players will be changing it all the time, even if changes don't happen to the game. The biggest shift that we actually saw was when we got to the Pro League. The way that we were assessing the players is much different than before. It wasn't necessarily as focused on placing, it's all focused on kills. So this kill rule set that's incorporated changes the way that the players game and play the game, and that's really what we're referring to quite a lot of the time, and Benny Boy is one of the ones who has thrived in it. That is why we see Set to Destroy X sitting so high up on the leaderboard week in and week out, because this guy knows how to bang. He comes out and he's able to find these kills so aggressive, and at times it just looks like he's going to get punished, but he doesn't. He never goes down.
DCI is just having fun with it too. That's something that I appreciate. A player that's in here on the big stage, still having fun, just waving at the guys in the background, hanging out. He knows he's all right, just kind of doing his thing. Probably doesn't even know the camera's on him, but Still giving a little wave for it.
Just hanging out, And this guy, we've seen him in close scenarios be very dangerous. Now we're seeing how good his long-range shot can be, really starting to poke, being that aggressor. And you can see it's just Obey's not able to close that space. They don't want to. So Benny's also just saying, hey, look, get off of my lawn. This is where I'm hanging out. Do not run your boots across my grass. CLG going to be in that corner of your screen right now. Now we're going to be on board with Imperial Hal. You can still see CLG. We talked about them. They're one of the teams that needs to be more aggressive, and Cloud9 has been a team that's very good at disrupting teams that are trying to get a feel for a change. So this could be a gunfight that C9 really does thrive in. Already we talk about them dropping down on portions of the map where other people don't want them to be. They are the thorn in the side of a lot of these teams.
Yeah, they've been in early engagements. We saw the opening eliminations last week involved Cloud9 and Impact, I believe. Gangstars is another team that's kind of done that, where they dropped in once on Set to Destroy, where Set to Destroy takes the same spawn week in, week out, no fail. They are going to land at the exact same spot every single time, and Gangstars tried to jump on them early last week. Didn't work out too well for them, but we're starting to see teams do those things that we talked about in the early day, or the earlier matches of the split. We asked, when are teams going to start jumping these guys' routes? When are they going to start trying to harass them early game, get some eliminations, and get those guys out of multipliers? And we're starting to see that kind of happen. They're still kind of just dipping their toe in the water, but it's starting to happen.
Well, I have a very important question for you.
Okay.
You're handsome, you're very intelligent, and I rely on you for things like this. Ultimately, we talk about how the safe zones really do impact play. We don't often talk about the kills, how they impact play when they actually do come in. There's much more real estate now here. The safe zone changes, and now there's only 63 players as we get to these tighter rings. Is that going to change the way that the finish potentially looks? Could we see one of those old school 3 teams camping out at different corners of the circle, all trying to get in on each other, not trying to be the first team to engage because the pinch might come in, or do you think it could be different?
I think it definitely depends on who's left. Who are those teams in the final? I don't think that they're going to sit out and wait. Like teams like Set to Destroy, when they recognize it, or Epsilon, they know the situation that they're in, and they're going to start rotating to get eliminations rather than pinches. They want every fight they can get. Teams like Rogue, we were just on board with Riki, who's our MVP from the previous week. They're a team that also, when they get into those final circles, they perform well. It's just getting to the late game that they haven't 100% mastered yet.
Yeah.
Once you get in there, they do it very well. Epsilon's another team. Set to Destroy is the only team I know of that really just maintains momentum or a pace. They're not super fast, but they just maintain momentum the whole match.
They're like an avalanche of snow. They start picking up speed, they never lose, and eventually they crush you. And that's what they've been doing on the leaderboard, absolutely crushing. And we got to keep that in mind. There are so many factors here, and that's really kind of our job here at the desk to try to highlight all of them. But the safe zone is going to have an impact on how they play. The way that the game was played last week is going to have an impact on how this week was played, due to the players actually watching VOD, adapting to it. The teams are going to have an effect, and the order of the kills are going to have a big effect. So
I think we were 70-plus players at this point in one of the matches last week.
Last week we were definitely...
They were all up. I mean, we're down
capacity.
12. Yeah, we're down 12. So we can already see how much of an impact these safe zones are having. And Gangstars, Kyreg trying to find some long-range shots there. But we're going to move over to Set to Destroy. Doug is raw. Definitely one of those elimination leaders. Him and Prodigy Aces have been very, very consistent through this tournament so far. Trying to get some long bomb shots over there into Tempo Storm. Gets a couple into the car. Still worth every shot that you can put in, as long as you're getting a hit marker. Very, very solid.
Very solid indeed. And we're going to be back on board with Echo Fox just in time to see Prox obliterated, sent back to the Shadow Realm by OG Triv. He's going to be joining 3 of his teammates right now. It's on Crank and Sloth, and you can see they're grouped up here right behind this car. Shot still coming in. It's everybody from Team Solomon just descending upon them, and they might get pinched in this situation. Trying to figure out what to do. They're going to pop out. They're going to try to drop some shots into Drop, and that's going to leave them exposed. And we can see that they're getting damaged up here. Team Solomon is able to shrug off those slugs.
Yeah, they're taking some shots over into TSM, and then here comes the pinch. Temple Storm behind him. Sloth going for the laydown, which we've seen him do before. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out of there with this, but TSM, you can see them try and bait the other ones out into the fight to shoot and drop, and then they start getting the damage in. They're unable to finish this off, though. Crank and Sloth just holding on. Crank finally going to go down to Candy Van. Temple Storm giving away points right now. They should have executed that quicker when they realized that they were down when they were up bodies.
Well, Tempo Storm was able to run in and grab one of those points, steal it from Team Solomon, so that's going to be absolutely huge. We talk about these pinches, which is basically when you kind of come in after someone's already weak because they're getting tagged up by another team, and you come in and you steal that kill for yourself. So that's what Tempo Storm was able to do there. And now Tempo Storm knows that TSM is so focused on trying to get the last player, Sloth. Sloth needs to get into the fight. He's going to be able to pick up a kill onto Candyman when Echo Fox is like they're completely out of it, and he's still going for more, put some shots into moves. What will Sloth be able to do? This is his last stand. This is all Echo Fox has left, and it looks like this Fox has got 9 lives. He's just putting shot after shot in, and he is still up here. Benny Boy going to be able to get a kill off screen, and Tempo Storm finally sends the Sloth packet.
Yeah, Tempo Storm coming in. Misplay by them. I guess they had to come in. The gas was there. We weren't able to see it with that camera angle. But they come in rushing, and they didn't eliminate Sloth first, which ends up costing them Candy Van. Candy could still be alive right now had they recognized that Sloth was still up. They knew 2 were there. They took shots. They hit him. There was only 1 elimination. They didn't track the kill feed well enough.
I'm not going to lie. Echo Fox looked like they were in an absolutely abysmal situation. Piney gets eliminated very early, but beautiful play from those last 2 players, going to be able to grab them a few points on their way out.
And you mentioned the early elimination on Piney. Does that affect them in their overall play? We talk about the zone effect, but what's the mental effect of losing somebody first and so early in the match? I mean, they basically boots hit the ground and Piney went down.
Look at this.
Beating down somebody that early is really rough.
We can see right now that it is going to be these 2 teams are basically neighbors, and it's not all good in the neighborhood. Who is going to be the first one to pull the trigger? You can see Set to Destroy X letting out these long-range shots onto Obey. This could be an opportunity for Nova to just kind of come out and get them straight in the back.
And where they're at right now, they're at the edge of the gas, and the gas is leaving in 10 seconds, and they have to rotate out. One of the cars is gone. Obey Alliance needs to get in. They need to rotate right now. This gas is about to cover them up. Noble also has to come out, and both these teams are in between 2 other squads. I expect shots to come into the vehicles here, and you can see them start to come in. Noble right alongside them. Obey needs to get to hard cover really quickly. They're in 1 vehicle. Noble in a little bit better situation, multiple vehicles, but C9 now in a fight, taking shots from behind his Frex as he loses his helmet, gets a new one on, and Noble starts dropping.
Everybody's just getting torn up. There's a fight here, there's a fight off screen. Sector Destroy is able to take out quite a few players of Obey Alliance, and you can see they are just completely obliterated here. Only 2 players going to be left up from Noble, and it looks like one of our best, most aggressive teams in the league was able to just capitalize on it, and TSM off screen now is getting kill after kill after kill, and finally CLG going to be able to clean up the rest of Noble. Chance, the last one up. Flamehopper, someone who used to play very slow, going to be taken out very early, and all of a sudden, where did CLG go? Epsilon is able to just get to the fray, Jason.
Set to Destroy also getting involved and getting a couple eliminations there as they go up to 4 elims total. Set to Destroy got involved and started causing chaos for all of them. They just lost on Noble, left with 1 player left alive. Alliance, Colj off screen, gonna take down Zach, Reptar as well. So Colj doing work off screen here. Chance trying to stay alive, getting through the smoke, gonna get spotted as he comes through, taken down by Kreenak, and immediately after that, Stomp a little, gonna punish Kreenak.
Set to Destroy X all of a sudden just managing to get so many points here. Grimmy Bear gonna be just deleted right through that rock. That's gonna be Epsilon's kill. We talk about the 2-point leaders in our league. They are both very much here to play right now. Not much space gonna be left. We're in our top 17, so keep in mind right now, the guys who made it into the top 10, they already have the multiplier, the 1.25 multiplier on each kill that they get. We're about to hit that top 5.
And we are at a point where our top 3 teams are still all alive. Rogue, 5 bodies up. I believe Epsilon has at least 4. Set to Destroy also involved. Gangstars getting lit up here. Gonna lose Kyreg to Colj. Casper trying to get out of there. Barely gets away. He looks like he's going to be able to get himself stable, but he's going to have to get regrouped with this team. They only have 1 elimination so far. They need to get more points on the board. And a full explosion! Alliance
is the last one left up, and he's going to be taken out. They're all in 1 car. It just gets blown to smithereens, and so does the hope of their entire squad.
And that's a ton of points going to Rogue. C9 now opening up, taking out Nastical and Beast off of Gangstars. Now looking the other direction, trying to find Casper. Casper also going to go down to Frex from C9. C9 putting up points. Rogue still going as they take down a member of Impact Gaming.
1.5 multiplier, but let's please let me see the explosion again. Just one more time. We're going to see Casper right now in this vehicle. He's going to be able to pop out, and all of a sudden, Oh, it's just a portent for doom, that flaming vehicle, and it just ends up being a chariot straight to hell.
Yeah, that was the wrong spot. You drove straight into a full squad. Stormin standing out there proud, ready to take down those points, gets the full explosion, gets 4 eliminations. That was a great point advantage there for Rogue.
That's
Big
what driving looks like where I'm from. Shout out to all my Jersey folk. We're going to see Rogue able to pick up a kill here on to Frex's, and still more explosions coming in. Keep in mind, Jason, you pointed it out a little bit earlier. We got some of the top dogs looking healthy. Ana is going to be out for Set to Destroy X, but they're looking healthy with 4 at this late point in the game in the top 4. Epsilon, very, very healthy here.
Yeah, Set to Destroy actually the one, if we're talking about the top 3 teams still being in, Melander going to get an elimination onto Chappie there, actually being the team behind. They are down a body. 5 up for Epsilon. I believe there's still 5 up for Rogue as well. Melander making work of C9, taking out Imperial How. Set to Destroy, Epsilon, Rogue, our top 3 teams in the league, battling for the top 3 spots in Game 1.
Melander just absolutely with the perfect shot right now. Now we have that triangle. We talk about it quite a lot. This one is going to be very scary. This vehicle looking a little bit risky here, but Set to Destroy X knows that they may have to breach in this situation. Triangles like this can be particularly sketchy because you can see situations where these guys are able to pick up pinches. The first one to attack sometimes is at the disadvantage, but Rogue feeling themselves just a little bit, getting these long-range shots into Set to Destroy X, and you can see Set to Destroy X definitely feeling the burn just a little bit here. They're going to be on the back foot. You can see there are 14 players and 3 teams. That means Ana, the only player going to be down, but Stormin going to be able to change
elim
that.
There. Melander's gun was hot. It's a big elim. Rogue also taking down Doug is Raw and Stomp a little. They said they were going to show up and get a bunch of elims today in the earlier interview with Christine, and they're doing just that. So now, down to only 2 left on Set to Destroy, most likely going to go down in 3rd place overall if this continues this way. Benny going to get eliminated. Zeke going to be the one to take him down, and Prodigy Ace is going to get finished off by Stormin, Epsilon, and Rogue for the top 2.
Rogue is dropping hot lava right now. I've never seen barrels hotter than this. Huskers going to be tagged up here. Rogue, this is a big opportunity for them. They've already scored so many points. They need to get as many kills onto Epsilon before Epsilon can actually tag them up. Now hiding behind the rock, they have the smoke, just a little bit of cover. Epsilon going to be moving forward. They want a favorable position here. Radarn, we already saw, he's got nothing but laser beams up inside that hopper. Looking right now to make this clip worthwhile, Jason.
Yeah, these guys need to play this out well. Rogue on fire right now and up in bodies. So right now I would say in those terms they're ahead, but Epsilon is somebody that closes out circles, and they're only down 1 player. 14 current points to Rogue. Right now, if the game ended, they take down 28 for this match. If they can take down these 4,
exactly.
I mean, what does that come out to, 36?
Yeah, the thing is every point is essentially worth a double here if you're able to get all of them, because you can be that #1 team to get 2x points. And now we are going to see Rogue starting to be choked out. There's going to be that gas, which is going to force them to run around, and the gas is also at their back. Rogue right now gets in the cop car, trying to close that space. They're going to try to actually get this entire play around him, circling around him like sharks, collapsing in on Epsilon. Shots coming in, and we're going to see Huskers pick him up, and after that, Rogue is just lighting up the kill feed. Epsilon not being able to get a scratch on him. Rogue's going to be able to get all of those kills. Nothing but laser beams. Nothing